afternoon and welcome to TVM-News. Today is Friday, February 24th. I'm Nevika Molinaro.
And I'm Emily Rowe. This week we have news about a woman in Williamsport being sentenced after the death of her daughter.
We also have news about President Biden's trip to Ukraine.
And you'll be checking in with TVM sports anchors John Downey and Vincent Goldschmidt to find out the latest in Marywood and professional sports.
Marywood Campus Ministry is participating in a nationwide campaign called Campus Race to Zero Waste. This week on Instagram, they asked trivia questions to test the knowledge about waste reduction and responsibility and recycling on campus. This Monday, they will have a paper airplane competition table from 10 to 12:30 in the Learning Commons.
The Student Alumni Association is hosting Living on a Spare tonight, February 24th at Idle Hours North in Dixon City. This bowling night for students and alumni is $10, which gets attendees bowling, food, and shoes. Registration is required. Lanes will be shared between groups of people and begins at 7 p.m.
The Career and Development Center and the Writing Center are hosting an online email etiquette workshop on March 6th from 6 to 6:45 p.m. Graduate Assistant Jason Lee will be providing tips for writing like a professional for an email that was sent. An email was sent out containing the QR code along with the meeting's ID and password.
On Wednesday, February 22nd, Adulting 101 was held in McGowan. Adulting 101 are sessions held to help students learn about life after graduation and to become more prepared for their future. The session of Adulting 101 covered retirement, savings, and investments. The next session will be held on March 1st and will cover credit and loans.
When we come back, we'll tell you about a mother who is being charged with the murder of her own daughter. But first, we'll check in with Maddie for the weather.
Thanks, ladies. Welcome back to your weekly weather report. What a wild week in terms of weather we had last week. Monday was pretty mild, but on Tuesday we had that thunderstorm and we saw some hail. That was crazy. And the sun came out. That was wild. On Wednesday we had some snow that canceled classes. That was very nice, but I'm sorry if you had to travel. On Thursday, yesterday, we had some beautifully warm temperatures. It was almost like 55 degrees. Really beautiful, really warm. Today our high is 51, but I don't think we're gonna see that right now. It's about 30-ish degrees, and it's only gonna get cooler throughout our day, so not likely that it's going to be warm today. I'm sorry. Our low is 19 degrees. Tomorrow, similar conditions with a high of 33 and a low of 17. On Sunday, it's going to get a little bit warmer with a high of 45 and a low of 24. On Monday, we're looking at a high of 41 and a low of 24. Now, there is a chance of snow Monday night. Right now, they're saying we could get about 3 to 5 inches of snow Monday night into Tuesday. So maybe a delay on Tuesday, maybe a snow day on Tuesday. A lot can change in a couple days, but just letting you know ahead of time. If you have to commute Monday night into Tuesday morning, please be careful. It is going to be cooler, so we could see some icy road conditions. On Tuesday, our high is 39 and our low is 29. Again, snow into Tuesday morning. On Wednesday, our high is 40 and the low is 26. Not looking at any precipitation on Wednesday or Thursday. Thursday, our high is 41 and the low is 22. And next Friday, our high is 45 and the low is 29. And we're looking at an 80% chance of rain next Friday. So again, we had some crazy weather this week. Next week is looking a little bit more mild. Again, chance of snow Monday night into Tuesday morning. Keep an eye on that. And yeah, we're not looking at any really unseasonably warm temperatures this next week. Highs are going to stay around 40s. But that's February. We're getting there. It will get warmer, I promise. And again, today, just some light snow flurries. It is quite windy, so that makes it feel a little bit colder. Be sure to bundle up if you're headed out anywhere today. And yeah, be safe. Be safe on the road Monday night, and thanks for watching. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Okay, here we go.
3,
2.
3, 2, 1.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
So when we start talking about COVID, I completely get it. It's frustrating.
We've all been impacted one way or another.
The fight against COVID is also changing really quickly.
And it's sometimes really hard to keep up.
So here are a few things we know.
We are not fighting the same virus from 2020.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before, it's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID vaccines are safe,
Much safer than getting COVID-19.
We all want this to end sooner than later.
so go ahead and do things.
Go out and live your life, but get vaccinated. Stay boosted.
We can all do our part.
And get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
A woman in Williamsport is being sentenced after the death of her daughter. Corinne Kalishar, 5-month-old daughter, was found dead with bruises on her neck. Saunders was facing homicide charges. However, she pled guilty to aggravated assault, resulting in the homicide charges being dropped. She's facing 15 years in prison.
On Saturday evening, crews received a 911 call reporting a barn fire in Jefferson Township. There were no injuries reported, and the owners were able to get the animals out of the barn. The fire took over 4 hours to put out, and there is no report on what caused the fire.
A man has been arrested for sexual assault in Lycoming County. Timothy Stroud was prosecuted in New Jersey for more than 1,000 counts of sexual assault on children for over 3 decades. Stroud was arrested while at his place of employment this past Wednesday in Williamsport by a state police officer. He's being held in the Lycoming County Jail without bail.
Marley's Mission hosted its 12th annual Blue Ribbon Gala at the Hilton in Scranton on February 18th. Marley's Mission is an organization that helps kids who have experienced trauma through psychotherapy with horses. Stacy Lane from Newswatch 16 was the master of ceremonies for the celebration.
A man is currently facing charges for shots that were fired back in 2021. Alec Carr is responsible for the shots in Park Avenue in Williamsport. Carr had been picked up from Philadelphia and brought back to Williamsport to face aggravated assault charges.
This year's theme for the Stroudsburg Winterfest was cartoons frozen in time. On Saturday, February 18th, in Courthouse Square, there were over 50 ice sculptures around the streets. Although it was warmer this year than it had been in past, families were able to see the sculptures, do a scavenger hunt, and see ice carving in person.
When we come back, we'll tell you about President Biden's visit to Ukraine.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
5 people are dead after a plane crash in Little Rock, Arkansas. On Wednesday, a twin-engine plane, BE-20 plane crashed after taking off from Bill and Hillary Clinton National Airport. It was en route to land in Ohio to provide environmental help after a plant explosion. There were 5 on board and no survivors of the crash. The National Transportation Safety Board announced that they will be investigating the crash.
On Monday, February 20th, President Biden paid a visit to Ukraine as the anniversary of Russia's invasion is coming up. This unannounced visit shows the United States' support for Ukraine in this time of war. This visit happened before a planned NATO meeting in Poland that had been scheduled.
After living 100 years, a man died by a hit and run. 100-year-old Tuja Ko was struck by a driver at an intersection in California at 7 a.m. this past Sunday. Police stated that Ko suffered head trauma, which resulted in his death. Police are searching for the driver and are encouraging the public to share any information they may have. Police released an image of the suspect's car. There is $10,000 reward to anyone who has information that will lead to an arrest. Please contact the Oakland Police at 510-777-8570 if you have any information.
On Saturday evening, Officer Christopher Fitzgerald, a Temple police officer, was killed in the line of duty, responding to an incident near Temple in the area of 18th and Montgomery. Fitzgerald was killed in the line of duty. Suspect Miles Pfeiffer was arrested on Sunday morning and faces murder, robbery, carjacking, and murder of a law enforcement officer charges.
Former NFL player is recovering after almost drowning at Peyton Hills. Former running back for the Giants, along with 2 children, suffered an accident in the Gulf of Mexico in Florida, the Panhandle. After nearly dying in attempts saving his 2 children, he was put on a ventilator. Hills has been released from the hospital and posted a statement on Twitter thanking those who helped him for all their prayers, love, and support. When we come back, we'll check in with TVM sports anchors John Downey and Vincent Goldsmith for the latest in Marywood and professional sports.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple?
Chop the pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay. You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in. Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Big week in Marywood sports this week, John.
Yeah, I heard the Lax teams, both teams played this week, and the basketball team sadly got eliminated.
Baseball starting up soon. Love to see
wait.
it. Yes, sir. Both the men and women's basketball teams were in the Atlantic East playoffs as the 6th seed. The men's squad traveled to Gwynedd Mercy University, where they fell to the Griffins 95-75. Sophomore guard Brendan Franco led the Pacers with 16 points. As for the women's team, they traveled to Cabrini-University facing the Cavaliers. Similar to the men's team, the women's team were eliminated, losing 80-58. Senior guard Savannah Purdy and sophomore forward Stephanie Klimick led the Pacers in points with 12 each. The women's rugby team kicked off their spring schedule, participating in the Frostbite Invitational in Philadelphia, PA. They won both of their matchups, shutting out both Salisbury University and the University of Pennsylvania 34-0 and 29-0. The Pacers track and field team traveled to Cornell University to take part in the Mark Denault Invitational. Despite there being no team scoring, a few Pacers had phenomenal performances. Freshman Paige Redmond finished 5th in Pacers history for the mile, running it in 5 minutes, 45.44 seconds. Freshman Tyler Redmond also finished 5th in Pacers history with a 9.18 second effort in the 60-meter hurdles. Sophomore Rosalind Page broke her own shot put record, which she set a few meets ago, throwing for 12.72 meters. The men's and women's lacrosse teams began their seasons. The women's team kicked off their season by traveling to Wilkes University. The Pacers walloped Wilkes 18-0. Freshman Caitlin Smith made her debut in style, netting 5 goals. The men's team traveled to Penn College of Technology. They had a differing result from the women's team, dropping their first game of the season 14-11. Sophomore John Scabello netted 4 goals.
Vinny, best part of the year, March Madness and the NFL offseason.
We love to see it.
In every NFL offseason, the head coaching cycle is always spinning, but this year with only 5 spots available. The Colts, Broncos, Panthers, Cardinals, and Texans all came away with who they feel will lead their team. The Texans hired 49ers defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans. The Broncos hired future Hall of Famer coach Sean Payton, who is returning to the sidelines after taking a year off. The Panthers hired longtime Colts head coach Frank Reich. The Colts hired Eagles offensive coordinator Shane Steichen, and the Cardinals hired Eagles defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon. This cycle concludes with 3 first-time head coaches, which is very low, considering there's a trend of new coaches over the last few years. The QB market contains tons of options this offseason for QB-needy teams. One man that will get highly pursued is Derek Carr, who was released from the Raiders last week and has plenty of suitors. So far, Carr has visited the Jets and Saints. Both meetings turned out to go well. Carr is also expected to meet with the Panthers and talk with teams such as the Falcons, Buccaneers, and Colts. Carr is only 31 years old, definitely still has plenty left in the tank. It's almost that time of the year again, with March Madness right around the corner. This year has been wild, with many teams disappointing and other teams overachieving. Of course, everyone looks at is the teams on the bubble, and currently the 4 teams are Nevada, Mississippi State, USC, and Wisconsin, with North Carolina and Charleston as the first 2 teams out. The top 8 projected teams are a mix of the typical blue bloods and some newcomers. Alabama leads the way with Houston, Purdue, and Kansas as the number 1 seeds. The 2 seeds are UCLA, Texas, Arizona, and Baylor. March Madness is almost here, everybody. That's all for sports. We'll be back after these messages.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Those 9 months were also 273 days of planning. What about your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. And let's not forget those barbecues you plan in detail for your family and your more vegetarian by the day best friends. That surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
With the power of social media, a daughter changed her parents' life forever. Jennifer Lee, daughter of the owners of Lee's Noodle House, posted a TikTok video of her dad in an empty restaurant with a caption, "It makes me so sad to see my parents just waiting around for customers to walk through their doors." After COVID-19 and the wildfires that spread across California, Lee's Noodle House in Santa Rosa, California was suffering. However, Jennifer's TikTok made 1.4 million views and continues to count. The restaurant is now flooding with customers and has about an hour wait for food.
That's really impressive that she's able to get that much.
It's touching. The power of social media is truly so crazy.
It is.
I'm very happy for her, and if I lived in California, I would definitely check out Lee's Noodle
Definitely.
House. That's going to do it for this week's edition of TVM News. From everyone here at TV-Marywood, thanks for tuning in.
Be sure to follow TV-Marywood's YouTube page and like the TVM Facebook page to stay up to date on the latest happenings and to watch additional content. I'm Emily Rowe.
And I'm Neva Kamal. Have a great weekend, Marywood.